Hello, hi everyone. This is going to be a video where I kind of retrospect on how I finished my 90 days art challenge. I uploaded few shots like some time ago, and I thought maybe just go through each art piece and what is the process I went through making each of those art pieces. So maybe we can start off by actually discussing or actually talking about how I ended up starting this 90 days challenge. It's a bit of a funny story. So the book which you're seeing here, this is my first book that I used, and this is the book that actually made me decide that I'll be doing 90 days art challenge. If you're wondering how, I'll just explain it in a minute. But before that, why I thought of painting is I always had this artistic itch, if you want to put it that way. I wanted to draw something, paint something, or do something. So I bought this book and I wanted to paint. But then the itch was so strong that I wanted to do a challenge. So I saw this book, and if you can see in the contents of this, so here it is written as 80 pages. So I thought, okay, since anyways I'm planning to paint, let's paint let's complete this book, paint all 80 pages and wrap this up. But then I thought 80 is little odd and 100 is too much, so let I decided on the number 90. But then one simple mistake I missed is these are 80 pages, but this book actually contains just 40 sheets. That was a big mistake that I missed. If I would have seen that, maybe I would have narrowed it down to 30 days challenge. But anyways, whatever happened for the best, I guess. So I ended up using not just that one book, but this and this. So yeah, 4 complete books for 90 days challenge. And let's start with the first one. So I wanted to make the first one pretty simple, so I have gone with the bohemian art. So it's simple. I think I saw this image on Pinterest and I added my own twist to it, and anyone can do it. Anyone who can handle colors and paintbrush can do this. And the I was not so good with fine brushes, and I did not even have any fine brushes. So all the black flowers or the leaves that you're seeing, I have done it using the OHP or the permanent marker that we get. So that was it. Nothing much. It maybe hardly took 30 minutes. If you're thinking that's too much, yeah. I used to suck at painting. I was never strong at painting. So this is it. Then I thought, okay, day 2. Let's move ahead to day 2. The next day, this was one of the horrible paintings, I would say. I did not like the color combination or how the painting actually turned out to be. But yeah, it's okay, I guess. And I should say almost 90 to 95% of my paintings I took inspiration from Pinterest. I think that's the stage where I started using Pinterest more and more, and now it became like part of my life. If I want something artistic that I want to have a reference for, I go to Pinterest. It's really good. And the third one, I can say very strongly, like among all the 90 paintings, the third one was the worst. Yeah, if you're thinking what is this, so yeah, this was supposed to be a cherry blossom tree, and yeah, cherry blossoms. I know cherry blossoms are supposed to be pink, but I actually struggled to make the color pink. I had very what do you say, restricted colors, I would say. Like I had hardly 12 colors. Let me get my painting set, like the color set. Like 1 second. So yeah, this was the set I had. I think I bought it in my UG or PG or sometime, and it had like literally 12 colors. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 6 on the other side, 12. And weirdly, it does not have pink, and I didn't know how to make pink. And whatever pink I made, it's not cherry blossom pink. Apart from that, the technique I tried to use for making leaves was so horrible, and it ended up, I don't know how to even describe it. Even the shadow looks horrible, the shadow of the tree. Only bright part, if I can say, in this whole painting are the leaves at the base of the tree, but even those are bad. But anyways, let's move on. We are learning in the process, right? So yeah, then comes the fourth painting. So this was actually pretty confident boosting, I would say. After the second and third painting, I can ignore the first was okay, I didn't do anything, like not much of efforts were required. Second one was pretty meh, it was not so good. Third one is an absolute disaster, but this fourth one actually came out pretty well, and I like this very much. So this was, I think I followed some YouTube video, and this time I was able to get the shade of pink I was actually hoping for, and all the shades, shadows, light, highlights, and everything came out pretty well, and I liked how this painting turned out. So this was nice. So, and also this was the point where I started thinking maybe I should have a theme around these 90 days. Since we are painting for so long, just painting random stuff would not actually look good. So I decided let's have a theme. And since this is already fourth day and we started with water, let the first week's theme be water. So that's how, if you have seen my shorts, each week theme is a different one. So that's how I ended up making rest of this, the 5th, 6th, and 7th day paintings in water theme. So this is also pretty good. The boats have their shadows. There is, so this is not exactly uh, the tube that we use for swimming. What happened was, I don't know, maybe some paint drop randomly landed here and I wanted to cover it up. That's how I ended up making it here. But in this painting specifically, I learned how to make the waves or the foam that is formed when sea waves are like coming or hitting the shore. So that was nice. And if you're seeing, this still looks okay, and I can see the foam should have been much thinner on fewer areas and thicker. Like there should be little variation in the overall thickness, what is going through the foam. But the brushes, literally I'm saying, the brushes set I had were like 4 to 5 brushes, like two to three flat, and literally uh, you won't even call them round bristles because their bristles were so spread out. But still, I was managing that somehow. Then comes the 6th day. This actually looked too good in the Pinterest page, and I think so. One mistake which I used to do initially when I started these challenges, let's say if you see this painting, I can see there is one color here, another color here, and the water itself is a totally different color. So what I used to do, I used to make all the shades initially and used to fill those. But later on I realized that's not how it works. If you want to have a homogeneous painting, let's say the water is of one color, you take little darker shade of it and use it for the shadows, and you take little lighter shade of it and use it for the highlights. That's how it would be more homogeneous. But yeah, that's an eventual learning I received. So yeah, this was one mistake which I can recall. Like, don't go too beyond the color that you're using. Use darker and lighter shades for highlights and shadows. But this is nice. This was fun to paint. Still like it. So yeah, this is 6, I guess, and this is 7th. So after that, yeah, exactly. After the last painting, this is where I started implementing. If you see, the highlights here are the lighter shade of the color here. If you see the previous one, I literally used white for the highlights. But I learned my lesson, and in the next one I was able to implement it at least to some extent. So I used only one color, lightened it in few places to for using it as highlights, and darkened it for shadows. And there is a depth I wanted to convey. I don't know how much it is visible on camera, but yeah, this is nice and cool. Even though I did not use or completely utilize the full canvas, but I like this vibe of it. And yeah, these sharp corners are from the masking tape that I was using. So initially when I did not use, the paint used to spill over to the sides and spoil the pages that are behind. So that's how I started using masking tape, and it was fun because it did not let the page move too much while I was painting. And I think yeah, that was end of first week theme water, and next week we'll go through this in second video, where second week I started painting food. So that's pretty nice. And second week is the week where I upgraded from my watercolors that I was using to acrylic. So, and acrylic was too tough. I never used acrylic, and it was too much to learn initially, because unlike watercolors, you just need to add a drop of water and it comes back to life if it has dried. But acrylic, you literally have to run. Like if I can't paint with fan switched on, okay, because it would literally dry up in a minute or two. And if you have large areas to paint and it is of a specific shade, you can't mix it too much because it might dry up, or you can't mix it too less because next time you're trying to mix, you might end up with a totally different shade. So there are a lot of challenges I faced with acrylic, but it's fun with acrylic because the colors or the vibrancy that you get with acrylic is too good. So yeah, all those we can discuss next week. And that's it for this video, I guess. And also a small tip I would give is, whenever you're going for uh, paintings, I know this is a sketchbook, but still you can use uh, this or this type of books for paintings, but make sure it's at least above 150 gsm. That's all I would suggest. So later on I used little more quality books because that was kind of a gifted book. And let me show those books as well. Yeah, so the second and third books that I used are, oh sorry, 200 gsm. So these were nice, the texture of the paper and the thickness. The last book, this is the book I used for classic paintings, that is 300 gsm paper I used, because I wanted these to be nice. I painted all classics, and maybe at the end we can discuss. So yeah, that's how my journey has gone through 90 days. So we'll cover the rest of the weeks in the upcoming videos. Thank you.